On this channel, I make videos about how to use technology. Today, I'm going to tell you how to not use technology. Is this a good idea? I don't know, but I had this idea on a Friday. On Saturday, I got some takeout. Not to brag, but that delicious meal came with a fortune cookie. I used to love these things as a kid. What's my fortune? Wait, when do they start making them like this? Aren't they supposed to be like really well written and just about me? Wait, hang on. I think two fortunes got stuck together. Let me peel them apart. Okay, yeah, that one's more like the ones I remember. That one's good. This guide goes out to the Android users. Apple pickers, you're just not going to find anything useful here. I want to give you some tips that helped me out, which I've never heard anywhere else. Don't get me wrong, the usual advice of deleting distracting apps is still good, but I think I have a unique perspective as someone who loves technology as much as I do. I think the best way to make sure you don't use your phone is to make sure your phone is annoying. Instead of using digital well-being apps that force you to use apps less, I think it's much more effective in the long term to discipline yourself to use your phone less. To make a lasting change to your relationship with technology, you have to be the one to put your phone down. In my opinion, the best way to gain that independence is to be constantly reminded that this is your goal. Today, I will show you 3 ways I made my phone remind me to not use it. The first tip is to make distracting apps invisible. This will serve as a visual reminder of your goal to use your phone less. Sometimes, there are apps we find distracting but cannot delete. When I first started trying to reduce my screen time and deleted my apps, I'm not even kidding, I became addicted to staring at the Play Store. The solution is to make sure you don't see the apps unless you search for them. To do this, you need something known as a launcher. A launcher is a program you use to control a device's interface in ways you normally can't. My launcher of choice is a free-to-use one called Niagara. I'll tell you how I set up this launcher to hide apps. Once you've installed it, the first thing the launcher asks you to do is to pick a few of your favorite apps. I recommend choosing only the ones that serve a productive purpose, like contacting your family or getting work done. Once you're done with that, move your thumb up and down along the right side of the home screen to pull up a bunch of letters. These letters are this launcher's version of an app drawer. Swipe all the way down to the circle icon at the bottom. The action should look something like this. Go to Niagara's Settings, Features, and go to Hidden Apps. Personally, I like to hide every app. That way, the only apps I can immediately access are the few I picked as favorites. Sometimes you may not recognize an app as a distraction until you're already distracted by it. I realized this after getting addicted to something as stupid as app window shopping. My second tip is to engage other senses. We've set up a visual reminder of our goal to use our phone less. And now we're going to set up an audible and tactile reminder as well. In your Settings app, go to Sound and Vibration. In the past 5 years, I genuinely don't think I've met anyone my age who has the system sounds turned on. You know the ones I'm talking about, the screen locking sound, the tapping sound, stuff like that. I completely understand why people turn off the system sounds. They're clunky, old, and annoying. However, I'm going to ask you to turn them back on as an audible reminder. When I was really hooked on using my phone, I also turned off haptics because I didn't need or want to feel vibrations to know that my inputs were working. I just had to look at the screen and see if my thumb made the letter get bigger. However, the interactive haptics are the tactile reminder I was talking about. If you have touch feedback turned off, turn it back on, and if you have it on low, crank it. Including this tip might be risky because there's totally a chance I'm wrong, and most people still use haptics and system sounds. If that's the case, genuinely, try the opposite. Expecting a buzz or noise and not feeling or hearing one, your brain still might make the connection to your digital detox goal. I think it's worth a shot. The third tip is to slow down your phone's animations. This tip is my favorite, and it's probably the one that's most positively affected my relationship with technology. The first 2 tips bring awareness to every action. This one gives you more time to let everything sink in. A quick warning before we get started. Slowing down the animations can result in tapping the wrong thing by accident if you don't wait for some animations to finish. This has never resulted in any crazy problems for me, The worst that's happened is I went to the weather app when I was trying to set an alarm. However, your results may vary. If you're still on board, great. Before we slow things down, we're setting up compensating controls. You're not allowed to follow along unless you do this first step. One of the biggest advantages of having a phone in your pocket is the ability to contact emergency services where you are and when you need to, quickly. There's a small but non-zero chance you end up in a situation where every second matters, so we must make sure your phone is still fast when it matters. Go into Settings, scroll down, and tap on Safety and Emergency. Then, tap on Emergency SOS. Follow the setup instructions, and your phone will know exactly what to do in the event of an emergency. Once you set it up, pressing the power button 5 times in a row quickly will start the procedure of getting in touch with emergency services, sharing your location with emergency contacts, and or recording a video, depending on the settings you selected. Next, go back to your settings and look for the About Phone section. You will then scroll to the bottom to find your build number. Tap on your build number 7 times. This will unlock a new options menu, and we'll go to that now. Back on the settings page, the System tab should be just above the About Phone tab. The new menu you've unlocked is called Developer Options. Tap on that and scroll through it. About 2/3 of the way through the options, there's a section called Drawing, with 3 settings for animation scale. To make your phone's animations play way slower, set all of these to 5x. Here's a video of what that looks like. This tip alone cut my screen time in half, because it gave me more of a chance to ask myself, do I really want to do this? Before opening an app. Getting extra time to think is massively beneficial. Thank you so much for watching. Just wanted to let you guys know my life is getting a lot busier starting next week, so I won't have a video ready for April 6th. Videos will be a monthly thing for a little bit, but I will find ways to speed up my research and writing process to make bi-weekly videos again. That being said, I will see you all on the 20th. Also, thank you guys for doubling my sub count and quadrupling my record for view count. I literally just noticed this the day that I uploaded this video, so thank you. Bye!